Hello, everyone. Hello. What's happening? Let me test the... Hello, everyone. Okay, that's good. Let me just real quick... Hang on one moment here. I need to make a slight adjustment to the camera. Very slight adjustment. Very slight. Should be a little better. 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 Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday night. Happy Sunday night. Let's see who we got here. What is going on with this? Oh, that's better. Paula says, the weekend went by fast. Hey, we have Sarah Joy and AJ moderating. Thank you so much, Sarah Joy and AJ. I appreciate it. Thank you. We have here Sharon Heberling. Good to see you. Sabrina Twist. Darren Markley, Robin Banks, Sebi, Questella, Jack. I'm going to move, Jack. I just haven't decided where yet. Carlos Rosa, Realtor. Geraldine Karstensen, Phil Britton. Apocalypse Snow, Dallas Alice. Breaker, Edward Kim, Marzell. Hedge Enemy, Bebel. Queen of the South, April Coco, Ibby Dibby, Barb Filer, Arizona Jumper. Sonic says, welcome to episode 422. We never have to have episode 420 again. Dan Avalon, Emily Andrews, Phoenix Lights, Darth Tater, K Drama, Rascally Rabbit, Lisa Remo, Kristen J, Paula Faust, Stanley Maestas, Nicholas Guerrero, good to see you, Nicholas. We haven't seen Nicholas in a little while. Logan Nikulaj, Brian Vanningen from Minneapolis. Boris. Hedge Enemy Apocalypse No. Thank you, by the way, to Barb Filer. Hey, thanks for the sticker, Barb Filer. Thanks for the Mr. Perfect. That's Mr. Perfect sticker. Saying, how's it going? Mr. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you also, Benjamin. Ben says he enjoys the streams. Glad you enjoy the streams, Ben. Ben says listening to you is like listening to a friend talk. And talk and talk and talk while you just listen for hours. And then you type something to your friend. Thank you, Benjamin. That's very kind of you. Benjamin and Barb Filer. Very nice of you. Darth Tater got a booster. Very nice. Mr. Perfect. It's Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect. Do I ever get a day off? Well, I work for myself, so it's up to me. But depends on the news, you know? But I'm pretty much always available to cover news. That's what the channel is. So, always on call, pretty much. April Coco says, tough boss. West Hawk is here. Branya Morgan is here. Lori Torres is here. Ted 37 is here. Roxanne Betke is here. AM Coffee. My handy dandy notebook. Patty is here. D Years is here. All right. Mike R says he missed the time change stream. Yeah, we did a time change stream very late last night. We came on the air late. I told you we would maybe do it. End of daylight savings time stream. Oh, thank you, Arizona Jumper. With the, what's that, the Bushiba sticker? Bushiba stickers. How's it going? Sticker. Bushiba. He's a Shiba who's lost his owner, turned to a life of motorcycles in mischief. Mischief? But now he's turning over a cool new leaf. I think they might have misspelled mischief and then chose the word leaf because it had the same last three letters as mischief. Anyways, this is Bushiba. Oh, hey, thank you, Queen of the South. Queen of the South says, great to see you for your next stir-fry meal. Hey, that's so nice of you, Queen of the South. Wow. Very nice of Queen of the South. One of these days, I'm going to stir-fry scallops. I've been meaning to do that. I should make some stir-fry this week. I made chicken breasts last night. I had chicken breasts last night, and I had the leftover chicken breast tonight. Tan Avalon just bought some Shiba Inu token. But thank you, Queen of the South. It's very nice of you. I will put it towards my next stir-fry. I'll probably feel like it this week. Jake from State Farm, thanks. Jake says, if yesterday's stream started at 1:38 a.m. and daylight savings time ends, does the stream really even exist? Well, it's a good question, but it was at 1:38 daylight time. And then the time converted to standard time. So there's only 1:38 daylight time. Eastern time zone. Thank you, Jake from State Farm. I've actually had a busy weekend, which I'll explain. Rascally Rabbit says scallops are the steak of the sea. Bob Piffle is here. Grad had steak and scallop combo for dinner. Ooh. Hunter Mars is here. Bob Messina is here. Torbet is here. Ojai Bacon is here. John Gidry says you can get scallops from Amazon. Well, they might be good there, but I can also get them at the grocery right near me. Oh, yeah. Well, Amazon has like Whole Foods Market. I mean, like, if I look at scallops, I mean, these are like delivery from Whole Foods. See? I can just go to the grocery and buy some. I just don't know how to cook them. Are they expensive? I assume they are. I would assume they are. I mean, if you look here on Amazon, this says $21 a pound. At Whole Foods, $22 a pound. I mean, chicken runs you what, $5 a pound? Just as a comparison. Hey, thanks, West Hawk. Oh, thank you, West Hawk. You'll be getting a Celtic edible from me. A Celtic edible or a Celtic edible? Edible. I can't eat it if it has marijuana stuff in it, by the way, West Hawk, just so you know. So I hope it doesn't have any drugs in it. I really need to go to, I will get to the UPS store at the start of the week. Things got busy at the end of last week and we had some news coverage during the day and I wasn't able to get to the UPS store to pick up my stuff. So I will. Kimberly Barr is here. Lots of rain and snow in Washington State. Questella is here. Nan B is here. Pan-seared scallops. I gotta ask my mom how she does it. I assume I can cook it in stir fry too. I assume so. I don't know. RA, not RA from Boston. RA likes the news stream. Thank you. New in Town is here. Saranya. The Bacon Be Shaken is here. He lives in Florida for amazing scallops. I don't know if they have good scallops here. Maybe they do. I've eaten them at restaurants. I've never cooked them. I just don't know. Rascally Rabbit says they cook really fast. How to cook scallops. Epicurious. Dry, season, and prepare them. Decide how many you're going to cook. Dry scallops, well, dry them? Line a baking sheet with a kitchen towel and place the scallops on top. Then add another kitchen towel on top and pat them for letting them sit like that for 10 minutes. All right. Sprinkle your scallops with salt and black pepper, or your seasoning of choice. Fine. You can add more flavor later, after cooking. Sear them. Pick a cast iron skillet, which I don't have, or a non-stick skillet. I have a non-stick frying pan. Okay. Make sure your pan is big enough to fit the number of scallops. Swirl in a bit of olive oil. I own olive oil. That's easy. Heat over medium-high heat until it's very hot and simmering. Then, using tongs, gently place your scallops in the pan and do not touch them until they are deeply golden brown on one side. Flip your scallops carefully and add a few little pieces of cold butter to the pan. I don't have any butter. Baste the scallops in butter while they finish cooking? Huh? Make a pan sauce? Huh? I don't know. Does that seem right? It sounds like I could just use Sarah Joyce because she says, can you just use oil? It sounds like I could probably put oil in a frying pan, in a nonstick frying pan, and just cook them that way. Emily says, can get bay scallops in Florida Gulf. Robin Banks, I don't know what type of kitchen towel they mean. I'm sure various ones would work. Bacon Be Shaken says, squeeze all water out. Cindy Lou says, if they're fresh, they don't need seasoning. Kevin Dove says, so much damn water in scallops, they can be hard to brown. That article said getting the moisture out is what allows you to get them brown. What did Chris Lund say about this? Chris talked to the chef at Zam's Candy. He's my new BFF. How'd you talk to him? So Chris says, I talked to Chef Jafer at Zam's Chocolates, where somebody sent me some Jam's chocolates, and then Barb Filer ordered something too. Did you tell him that this broadcast is responsible so far for 2 orders of his chocolates? Or did you leave that out? Did you put in a word for us? Is it Zam's? I can't remember. What is it? Zam's? Is that the right word or is it different? Zam Artisan Chocolates. So Chris talked to Chef Jafer. What happened? How did you meet Chef Jafer? Emily says, I have bad luck cooking scallops. I only buy them in restaurants. Get some Kerrygold butter. I never use butter. Butter's pretty cheap, though. Nanby says, you don't need butter. Shaft says, chat cooks have arrived. Chris says, I mentioned it. He told me to send it to him, which I'm going to hear shortly. Reached out through his website. Wow. Chris, do you think you might have talked to his assistant who pretends to be Chef Jafer and answers the email? Wow, that's Chris's new best friend. Was he like, I'd like to write more to you, but I'm making candy. Kenneth likes hibachi steak with fried rice and shrimp. Sarah Joy says Kerrygold butter is not cheap. Maybe we'll try making scallops. It seems pretty easy. It seems like I could just try making them with oil. I could cook one in a frying pan with oil and see how that works. Oh, Benihana is great. I love it. Kenneth, if I had one down the street, I'd eat there too. Olive oil. Emily says they're easy to overcook. Sharon says the best chocolate in the world is the France Pavilion at Epcot. I've seen some TikToks about the food at Epcot. Looks pretty good. Chris says his signature said his name, so I suppose it's him. No, I think it's him. I gave him my number to contact when they opened. He said he would. Nice. Chris is getting in with Chef Jafer. You still haven't tried his candy though. He's telling his wife right now, this guy reached out to me. He's never actually tried our candy, but he says he watches a stream where someone ordered it. Patty says, I learn and laugh from your cooking streams. Yeah, learn from my mistakes. No, it's good. The candy's good. Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold butter. Moo, our happy grass-fed cows. Milk from Irish grass-fed cows. Eater from a couple of years ago. Why? Kerrygold butters rise from humble countryside to American favorite. How about that? It's an Irish export. I had no idea. When I used to eat butter, I used to love having bread and butter. I loved it. I just can't have the butter in my diet, extra butter. I could use it for cooking, though. Whatever. All right. Hey, Edward. Edward, enough. Edward, you said it before. You said it before. You're repeating comments, Edward. You're not behaving. You weren't behaving earlier. I was watching what you were saying earlier. You need to behave. Emily says, Edward is pushing it. Barb says, I think Edward enjoys the intention of being a bad boy. The ratio of Edward's troublemaking comments to normal comments has gotten higher and higher. There's a concerningly high ratio of Edward's comments these days are just troublemaking comments. April Coco likes butter on fresh sourdough. Polly is here. Good to see you, Polly. Sonic says BJ's Microbrewery had a whipped butter honey spread for table bread at one point. Greatly missed. Brutus is here. I've had for years, I don't know if it's a bald spot technically, but for years I've had a thing like on the back of my head. There's a spot with very little hair there, so you can kind of see through. I've had that for a while. I mean, normally you don't see it because I'm not turned around facing the camera that way. You can see it from the back. I'm glad I have any hair at this age. Ooh, is Hetty Silafits came by? Bob Messina says, I have that too. Hetty is here. Yeah, welcome to the aging process. Who knows how long I'll even have my hair for. I'll enjoy it while I have it. Chris says that's called stress that thins the hair. I don't know that mine is stress related, Chris. I've had it for years. My life, I think, is pretty. I mean, it's not too high stress compared to some people. I mean, the most stress I get is from the chat. That's really the greatest source of my stress. Polly says he has one too. Nope, this is what happens. Oh, thank you, Bacon Be Shaken. I appreciate that. Very nice of the Bacon Be Shaken. Thanks for your encouraging words in your donation. Thank you, the Bacon Be Shaken. Kenneth says, I got a head massage and it helps the hair follicles grow. They do it at the place I get my hair cut. There was one time I went to a place to get my hair cut where I think they did a head massage, like that was their thing. It's actually very nice if you've never had a head massage. Gigi is here. Peppy the Frog is here. Nice crowd of people. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend. I'm in my... oh, thank you, Hetty. You guys are so nice. You're so nice. Thank you, Hetty. We don't know the name of the lemon character. The lemon characters. I haven't seen the name of them. But thank you, Hetty. Very nice. Thanks for the sticker, too. And also, oh, thank you, Denise Horton. Thank you. Yeah, my hair is, it's whatever. At least I have it. At least I have it. Denise says, Edward, behave. Thank you, Denise Horton. Very nice of you. Much appreciated. And Hetty, thank you. You guys are too nice. Jody Rosh says, weekends go fast. So we are here. We did our stream early this morning. We did time change stream. And now it is standard time. We're on standard time. You know, I looked it up on the stream last night that I think sunset here is like 6:30 now after the time change. In Boston, it's like 4:30. I actually talked to some of my family in Boston, and they were just losing it because sunset is now 4:30 p.m. in Boston. I mean, that's just depressing. Sarah Joy says ours was 5:30 today. It did get light a bit earlier. I did notice early this morning it was getting light a bit earlier. As it should, of course, when you pull the clocks back. But I really did notice that. Eric B says dark so early now. I thought Orlando was 6. Oh, you know, maybe it just didn't update. Because when I checked last night, it said 6. Oh, you know what? I think that it hadn't updated. I checked last night and it said 6:30, but right now the Microsoft app says 5:36. So I think what might have happened is last night when I checked the sunset, it did not have the time change in. Okay, so the difference is only 1 hour. I mean, when I looked last night, it said the difference was 2 hours between here and Boston. I was like, wow, that's a big difference. But I think it's because this hadn't updated for the time change. So it's an hour difference basically between here and Boston. It's better than 2 hours. I'm like all bundled up here. I thought it was like 50 degrees out. I'm like, it's cold out. I'm all cold. It's actually like 60 degrees here, and I'm bundled up in my sweatpants and my fleece jacket. I do have the balcony door open. Look at the low on Sunday. Wow, low of 47 here next Sunday. Low of 47. 47. Brutus says it's all downhill until December 21st. When do the days start getting longer? December 21st? When is winter equinox? December 21st. So the days should start getting longer on December 22nd. That would be something. Kenneth says low there is 27. Andrew C. says, guess I should take my ACs out up here near Boston. We're not that far. Well, see, you forget. Basically, the days have been getting shorter for like about 4.5 months now. Denise is in Lake Cowichan, British Columbia. All right. Hang on one moment here. Just one moment. Jan Porter is here. The bacon be shaken says sucks when I work dark from dark to dark. I've had the odd job where you'd have to work at night and then you'd sleep late and then you'd get up the next day and it was like it was dark when you woke up. It's bad. If you sleep so late you're missing the sunlight, it's pretty depressing. That can happen. I mean, we had that happen during the pandemic. I was on a weird schedule for the first part of it when we were covering stuff in China. But man, when you miss daylight, that's not good. I have like a little itchy thing on the top of my eyelid. I have to like put some Cordate on it or something. I don't like putting stuff on my eyelid, but it's like some kind of, it's not like nothing you can really see. It's just a little itchy eyelid for the last couple days. There's some kind of irritation there. I'll put some cortisone cream on it, maybe. Maybe I got a bug bite. Maybe a bug bit me while I was sleeping. How about that? Thank you, Bob Piffle. Bob says, since June 3rd, 21st, I'm feeling much better now. Days will begin to get longer in several weeks. Right. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that, Bob. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to think about it. Once you hit December 21st, the days start getting longer. So you just got to make it. Now they'll get shorter until December 21st, but another month and a half, and things are on the upswing. I wish I just had the funds to just move to the southern hemisphere for the winter. I bet things are nice in Australia now, right? Where are our Australian viewers? Or in New Zealand? I bet it's nice there. John A. and Petey is here. Where are Australian and New Zealand viewers? Oh, thank you, Kenneth Colton. So nice of you. Kenneth says, hope everyone had a great weekend. Sending my love. Sent you some birthday photos of my son on Twitter. Hey, thanks, Kenneth. I appreciate your support. That's very nice of you. Kenneth said it's his son's 14th birthday weekend. New winter jacket, movies, and cake. This is what Kenneth did this weekend. Very nice picture. Hang on. Very nice. 14. That's Kenneth's son. Happy birthday, Kenneth's son. Lovely cake. It's like a fun party. Kenneth says it was an awesome weekend. Where is... That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Hey, Cheryl Busman is here. So I had a busy weekend because in addition to, well, we did some coverage yesterday on Agenda Free TV. I also had to finish up this little side project I'm doing for my friend. My friend in LA wanted me to do some writing for him, just like a small side thing. But it was due today. So I needed to get it done this weekend. My plans got thrown off. I was going to try to get it done like on Friday, and then we were on the air covering news on Friday. So obviously that takes precedence. So after the stream yesterday, I did a bunch of work on it last night because there wasn't any news that we were streaming. And then today I did more, and I just sent it. Right before this broadcast, I sent it to my friend. So I should be done with that. If he needs me to fix some stuff, I'll fix it. But at least that's out of the way. It went fine. It was just, had to get it done. Then you write something, and it always takes longer at the end because you proofread it and you go through it and you try to clean it up, and it takes longer than you thought. You might actually see it somewhere when it comes. If there's a place you can see it eventually, I'll let you know, Chris. How's that? It's nothing. It's nothing like. It's not like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie or something. Something a bit smaller. But it's fun. It's just. He's a really good friend of mine, so it's fun to work with him, and it's just kind of fun to just do something different. Kind of a different. It's just like a mental break to just do something different for a few hours. Oh, thank you, Patty. Patty says, for all you do. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that, Patty. Thank you. So nice of you. Thank you. Phoenix Lights says, I write a lot for my career. Writing good content is brain taxing. Bob, I haven't seen my friend from the band yet. I'm going to see my friend who's going to be in Orlando this week. Mohawk News Station is here. It was my niece's birthday today. I talked to my niece, talked to my brother, talked to my nephew, talked to my sister-in-law. Caught up with them. Hey, Sean Art is here. Sonic, I do watch Stranger Things. Man, I finished that documentary called Tread. That's a good documentary. Tread. About the Killdozer. It's on Netflix. David, I was just using Google Docs for this. Tread. Pushed to his breaking point, a master welder in a small town at the foot of the Rocky Mountains quietly fortifies a bulldozer with 30 tons of concrete and steel and seeks to destroy those who believe who have wronged him. It's about that. It's good. It's a good documentary. Andrew, I sent Kathy, as I mentioned earlier on a stream, on a different stream, I sent Kathy a couple mugs. I got to go back now. What I got to do is I've watched the movie, and this movie has some of the footage of the bulldozer in it. But What I need to do is go back now on YouTube and watch some of the original. I think there's like helicopter footage and stuff. I just want to watch some of the footage of it. Cindy Jones says, I remember it. There was an interesting point in the movie, whereas a couple of the people who live in the town said, so when this guy like went nuts and he built this bulldozer and started attacking places in his town, eventually, the guy died, and very soon after the incident, the town just destroyed the bulldozer. They just destroyed it. And a couple of the guys from the town, their house had been attacked, but they said they wished the town had saved the bulldozer, because they said they could have put it in a museum and made a lot of money for the town off of it. If people could go to the town and see the real bulldozer, they thought it could have made a lot of money. Now, one thing someone might argue is they might say, well, we don't want this inspiring other people to do it. I think that was part of it, is not wanting it to be like an inspiration. I don't know. You could see, and you might think, oh, we might draw people to town who want to do something similar. So I understand that, but at the same time, they might have made a lot of money for the town. Kenneth likes the documentary The Bridge, about the Golden Gate Bridge. Tread is on Netflix. Somebody might have posted it to YouTube as well. Somebody might have probably illegally posted it to YouTube. West Hawk says, I don't think the town's like a bunch of tourists. They'd probably like the money. But the two of the guys from the town said that it. I think they said in the documentary that it had made the town kind of famous. I don't know if people still go there. I bet in the aftermath, a lot of more people went to Granby. It's a small town in Colorado. It's not that big. Granby, Colorado. Granby has 2,000 people in it. Probably about 50 miles away from Denver. Bulldozer Ram. I mean, that's what it's known for. You go to the Wikipedia page, right? Bulldozer Rampage. The rampage lasted 2 hours and 7 minutes. That rampage caused an estimated $7 million in damage. I did not know about the bulldozer rampage until you guys told me about it like a week ago. Cindy Jones says, it was a big deal when it happened. I remember watching it on ABC Nightly News when I was a few years younger. I wonder if I heard about it and just forget hearing about it. I don't remember hearing about it. That was June 2004. It's such a crazy event. Torbet says, I heard they don't sell bulldozers in town anymore. Well, that bulldozer was actually purchased from California, and he shipped it to town. The Stringer series is on Netflix, Dallas Alice. Called, I can't remember. I have to check that out too. Jonathan Y. Sikorsky says, how are you on sea salt? Jonathan, that sea salt you sent me the sea salt. I have reordered it twice because I use it. I was going to reorder it again. But if you want to send me more, I would certainly welcome it. I'm running low on it. I've ordered it myself. That's the... Jonathan very nicely, like when I was living in Atlanta, sent me the sea salt. This one. We've talked about it before. It's Malden sea salt. It's very good. It's like famous. It's from the UK. Hold on. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. I just posted the link. It's got 28,000 reviews. But that's the one. Oh, Jonathan sent me Himalayan. The Himalayan is good. I have the Himalayan though. I do have some of the Himalayan left. Okay, so Jonathan sent me the Himalayan sea salt, which is also really good. Now that I still have that. I still have some of that left though. So don't send me another one of those, at least yet. I have to use that. I go through things and I like forget I have them. And I have to start, that's one of these things I was using a bunch for a while, and then I stopped and I was using this other salt. But I got to go back to the Himalayan because I really like it. David says, what's a different taste? Well, it's hard to describe a different taste, but the sea salt is bigger pieces. Denise says, bought Himalayan sea salt after one of your streams long ago. What a treat. Right, so Denise, you might have gotten the one that Jonathan sent me. I forget which brand it is. Very good though. That happens with spices too. Like I'll use a couple of them, and then I'll forget how I'll have others. For a while, I just didn't use any garlic. Then I was like, wait a second, I should use this again. I forget what brand Jonathan sent me. It's like pink. It was like a pink Himalayan sea salt grinder. Was it this one? Was it McCormick? McCormick? Somebody sent me the McCormick one. Sonic says the texture is different. I think somebody sent me this one at some point. I don't know if Jonathan sent me that one. I might have a couple of the Himalayans. Well, this one has garlic in it, though. I forget. I just don't remember. Jonathan will tell me which one he sent. Carlos Rosa says that Himalayan sea salt is actually mine. Jonathan's going into his Amazon orders now. Did you send me the the bag holders, or did somebody else send me those? This is stuff like people sent me like 2 years ago. Yeah, I still use those bag holders. I still use those for like my cereal and stuff and some other stuff. I forget what those were called. You can remind me what those are called. Barb says she uses the Himalayan pink sea salt from San Francisco Salt Company. Yeah, those holders are really good. How do you know the salt is truly from the Himalayan? Well, I mean, you're just trusting the company, right? But the company would have a lot to lose if people found out it wasn't that. Also, I wonder if they could be subject to like a criminal penalty or something by mislabeling their food item. Denise bought the bag clips as well. Anyways. You should see how they mine that salt. Maybe I'll have to watch a documentary about it. Wikipedia says Himalayans is a rock salt mined from the Punjab region of Pakistan. The salt, which often has a pinkish hue due to trace minerals, is primarily used as a food additive. But is also, the product is often promoted with groundless claims it has health benefits. Jonathan says it's really cool how they pull it out of the ground. Polly says he used to mine for salt. Really? I'm looking up where is table salt. Where is salt from? Thekitchen.com. Table salt is typically mined from salt deposits, remnants of older bodies of seawater that have since dried up and are long gone. How about that? The deposits are washed with water to dissolve the salt, forming a salt solution, which is then evaporated under a vacuum to form crystals. I didn't know that. Sea salt is crystallized from current bodies of seawater, either by open-air solar evaporation or by quicker vacuum evaporation process. I was wondering, like, would the world ever run out of salt? I'm looking it up. I'm seeing like something on Reddit about it. Jonathan sent me a link to my Twitter. My email. Where'd you send it, Jonathan? I don't see it. John A. and Petey wanted me to look up this Salt Cathedral, an underground Roman Catholic church built within the tunnels of a salt mine in Colombia. It's a tourist destination. The Salt Cathedral. Thank you, John A. and Petey. I had not heard about this before. I'm looking up another here. Look, Colombia's Salt Cathedral is a marvel of architecture and a popular house of worship. It's a salt cathedral. I didn't know. And there are statues carved out of salt. That's really interesting. That's the Salt Cathedral. Thank you, John A. and PD. I appreciate it. John A. and PD. Helena says, do they mine salt from the Great Salt Lake in Utah? I have no idea. Barb says there are a couple of salt caves in Massachusetts. I assume they're like salt connoisseurs who can taste. I would assume maybe you can taste the difference in salt from different parts of the world. I don't know that I could. All right, hang on one moment here. One moment here. One moment here. Why can't I see this thing? What's going on here? Craig Crisatomo, who's a Twitter follower, he let me know. I hadn't checked my Twitter in a few minutes, and Heavy.com posted an article about all the people who died at the Astroworld Festival. They have them all. So I just retweeted this. It's just really bad. If you want to read it, I just retweeted it from Heavy.com. They say these are the victims of the Astroworld Festival. And they have like write-ups about the different people. I mean, everybody's so young, it's crazy. It's terrible. So, but I just retweeted that if you want to see it. Not good. Sonic says, did we talk about Stratica before? Chris says 2 lawsuits have been filed, one from Austin attorney. I'm guessing there will be dozens of lawsuits. That'd be my guess. There's going to be a lot. Stratica salt. Stratica. Stratica is a salt mine museum in Hutchinson, Kansas. It was previously known as the Kansas Underground Salt Museum. The museum is built within one of the world's largest deposits of rock salt. And it provides the opportunity to go 650 feet beneath the Earth's surface. How about that? That's from Wikipedia. Since 1923, the Hutchinson Salt Company has produced rock salt by the room and pillar mining fashion, which begins with a shaft sunk through the overlying rock to the salt deposit. Roach says Stratica is across town from me. That's interesting, Sonic. Thank you, Sonic. Jonathan says there are salt connoisseurs. It used to be such an important commodity back in ancient times that Roman soldiers were literally paid partly in salt. Sonic says old film and movie archives are stored in salt mines in Kansas. Here it is down here. Underground vaults and storage gallery. Another area of the Hutchinson Salt Company mine not open to the public. Underground vaults and storage has replicated the look and setup of its operation for the Kansas Underground Salt Museum. The company is internationally known for its high protective secured storage capabilities. Is this it? Businesses prefer this storage because of the constant temperature and relative humidity. The high security level created by shaft-only access in the mine safeguard from natural disasters like tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes. Huh, how about that? Interesting. Interesting. Roach says that place is huge. Hey, big thanks to AJ and Sarah Joy for moderating. They are moderating. Thank you. Hang on 1 second here. Okay. By the way, what was I going to mention? I was going to mention something. I went for a run today. That was good. I went for a run and watched some Red Zone while I was on the treadmill. I watched my fantasy team do terribly again. My fantasy team is the worst I've had since I've played fantasy football. It's truly terrible. And I keep up with, I find it sort of a fun diversion to I'll listen to a fantasy football podcast or I'll read an article about fantasy football. It's just kind of I don't really care. It's just kind of a fun topic. It's interesting to keep up with. And yet, even though I keep up with it, and many people in my league don't really, I still am the worst team in the league. It's awful. I thank C. Michelle Sparks, who contributed to the Scallop Butter Fund. Does that mean I have to get butter for the scallops, C. Michelle Sparks? Is that what I have to put it towards now? I might have to now. Thank you, C. Michelle Sparks. I really appreciate it. I'll have to research it. I got to make them at some point, though. But I did go for a run. It was great. I feel so much better when I get to go for a run. I didn't get to do it last 2 days. It was too busy. Went for a run in my minimalist shoes. I ran today in the 5 fingers. Here, I'll show you the 5 fingers. I ran in these today. These babies. And not much padding on these. No socks. My feet felt fine. I ran for more than an hour and a half. I was just watching football. I wasn't even running that fast. I could have gone longer. My feet were totally fine. No orthotic inserts. No inserts. No socks. Feet don't hurt at all when I'm on the treadmill. Carlos says, you haven't complained about my feet lately. Because they're doing a lot better. I ran like 9.5 miles. I think I ran about 9.5 miles today on the treadmill. But, fine. They're not like, I mean, they're still improving. If I go walk on concrete for an extended amount of time, I'll start feeling it. But overall, they're improving. Yeah, Denise says no blisters or calluses. When I first started running in the new minimalist shoes, I started to get some blisters. I'm really not having any right now. I kind of have like maybe a little one, but would I wear these outside? I could wear these outside. They're a little, I guess because of the way these are a little thinner than my other minimalist shoes. So I prefer to not wear I can wear these outside, but if I'm going to walk on concrete, I'll wear something more like this, which is still kind of thin, but there's just a little, I just prefer a little more. They're just kind of thin for outs. They're like, the other ones are thin too, but these are like the thinnest. So for outside, it's just a little bit of a hard ride. So I usually wear my other ones. But great. No, these are actually made to run outside. You wouldn't damage these. Can you stub your toe with them? You could. There's a little padding on them, but Josie, yeah, minimal boots. Actually, we've spoken about this on recent live streams. You can go find a chapter called Boots. But I ordered up some boots, minimal boots for Boston. They'll be waiting there when I get back, and I'll see if they actually work or not. If not, I'll return them. We do have chapters on our videos now, so you can go back and find the chapters. See, so like this is November 1st. See all the chapters. So if you go back like a week ago, you can find one of the chapters says boots, and I talk about it. So I'll let you know how the boots are. I'll have them when I get back to... I should have asked my mom. I'm sure she found the box. I'll have to ask her tomorrow. Amazon delivered a box today. She must have seen it. I told her there were a couple of boxes I was sending to myself there. Breaker says, I don't like wearing shoes to drive. Yeah, these are more like, the 5 fingers are more like covers for your feet. Polly says she fed them to the dog. I don't know, by the way, I don't do it. I saw somebody ask online recently, is it illegal to drive barefoot? TC Palm says, Florida, TC Palm. It is technically not illegal in Florida to drive barefoot, although law enforcement agencies caution against the practice. Driving barefoot or while wearing loose shoes like sandals or flip-flops isn't against the law. It could earn you a reckless driving ticket, though. If you get into an accident and a responding officer believes your improper footwear or lack thereof contributed to the crash, he or she can cite you in Florida for reckless driving. Also, I would assume that if you got in an accident and you got sued, if somebody could show that maybe you couldn't drive as well without shoes on and you didn't take some action to, maybe they could sue you for being negligent or something. I'm not sure. Also, from this article, driving barefoot or wearing flip-flops can cause serious injuries to drivers' feet if involved in a crash, said Florida Highway Patrolman Steve Montiero, whenever this was written. Anything is better than driving in socks, though, it says, the article. Socks can slip off the gas or brake pedal even more easily than bare feet. You have to consult your state to see what the law is there on barefoot driving. Chris says it's a myth in Texas, but not illegal. Tusk Splitter says must be different states. In certain states, I don't know what the barefoot law is in each state. So there you go. Polly says it's all good if you drive a VW van and have fuzzy dice. Jan Porter says I think it's illegal in Oregon. Okay. Oh, is Sari still here, by the way? April Coco says, when I used to go out in flip-flops in Florida, I would drive barefoot. I actually thought I had good feel of the pedals barefoot. Interesting. Jonathan says, do you like toasted cheese sandwiches? No, because I try to not eat, I'm sure I would like them, but I try to not really eat cheese when I don't have to for my diet. Also, I try to really not overeat bread when I don't have to, just because of my diet. So it's not that I don't like them. Torbett thinks they should mandate against barefoot driving. I don't know enough about it. I don't know how barefoot driving is for people. Chris says cheese is the devil in my weakness. Wow. Hey, Thanksgiving's only in 2.5 weeks, you know. Well, 2 weeks and 4 days. Right? It's 2 weeks from Thursday, Thanksgiving. My family's doing like their Thanksgiving this year. Everybody has to be vaccinated who comes, but a lot of people are coming. And we didn't do it last year, of course, so Dallas Alice is going to fry a turkey. I haven't had stuffing forever. I love stuffing, but I try to avoid eating it. But I'll eat it on Thanksgiving. I assume a bunch of folks are doing their more usual Thanksgiving stuff this year. Darren says stuffing is the best part. So I'll be going back to Boston in a couple weeks. At the beginning, in roughly 2 weeks, I'm going back to Boston. I'll be freezing there. Paula's going to her brother's house. It's weird, last year, I don't know if did we do a stream on Thanksgiving last year? I don't know that we did. I did a Zoom call with some family members last year. I don't know that we did a Thanksgiving stream last year. And then the year before that, I think there was no Lookner channel. I think it got created like the end of November 2 years ago. Denise says there was no Thanksgiving stream. I was caught up in moving. I can't remember, when was it in 2020? Thanksgiving 2020. It was the 25th. I had already moved. I had just moved. I moved like 5-6 days before Thanksgiving last year. Sarah Joy says, I think we did. Maybe we did some sort of stream. The Sonic, remember? I'm looking it up by title. Oh, Thanksgiving Lake Walk. Look, I didn't even remember this. I literally didn't remember this. Thanksgiving Lake Walk. This is on Thanksgiving. Daniel says you had a Thanksgiving walk. Didn't remember. No, I made the ham for Easter. I saw some. I had just moved there. Well, this was lovely. Thanksgiving Lake Walk. You can watch that from last year. Sarah says, I think you had a stream too. Let's see. I'm looking. There's one the day after. Anyways. Well, if we do one this year, it'll have to be because I'm going to be with my family all day. So maybe we'll do a stream after. If I do a stream this year on Thanksgiving, it would have to be like late night, because I'll have to finish up with my family and then do the stream after that. I should do a stream if I do second Thanksgiving. So what I do sometimes is I don't pig out during Thanksgiving. What I'll do is I'll eat stuff during Thanksgiving and I'll enjoy it. And then at night I'll be wow, I'd really love some more turkey and stuffing. Later, once I've gone home, and I'll heat up some turkey and stuffing. So I call it second Thanksgiving. And I'll put some cranberry sauce on it too. So maybe I'll do a live stream for second Thanksgiving. Chris says, being single is great on Thanksgiving. I jump around and mooch off everyone else's dinner. I might see Josh G. I'm not sure. Kimberly Bar, we'll see. Very well might see Josh C. No, I'm not going to start live streaming at my family Thanksgiving. AJ says, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. Darren, Thanksgiving traffic was 2 years ago. I think that was that was a weird, that's such a weird stream. That was before, I think that was a stream about the traffic for maybe, was it Black Friday? I don't know. That was on Agenda Free TV. That was before I had Lookner channel. See, this is not really an agenda-free TV. This is obviously not an agenda-free TV stream now. But like back then, I didn't have Lookner channel. So I would just do some different things just to do some more streams. So I did in 2018. 2018, I did Thanksgiving traffic live coverage, which I obviously would not do now. It's interesting, though. I didn't even remember doing that. No, John A., I disagree with you about cranberry sauce. I like the canned whole berry ocean spray sauce. Sarah Joy says, those were the days. See, I like this channel allows me to keep agenda-free TV really focused on like big news stuff. Are there different classes of AFTV streams like News Alert and Breaking News? I have different playlists, Sonic. I mean, there's really not any difference in the actual stream itself. Live coverage is when we actually cover a live event. But I have different playlists on the AFTV channel of what the News Alert is and the Breaking News, and Breaking News I usually save for like something really big. Barb said her dad passed years ago, the night before Thanksgiving. I'm sorry about that, Barb. That's not good. Definitely miss people at Thanksgivings who aren't there anymore, of course. I'm sure you have that in every family. Polly says, can I tell if people go back and watch old streams? I mean, I think what I'd have to do, Polly, is just look. You can find out. I don't usually do this, but you can find out like how many people have watched a stream in the last, 48 hours. Or I think you can probably go to each stream and find out how much people have watched it over time. So you can see if people have watched it, not who has watched it. I just don't usually do that. I mean, most of the agenda-free TV streams, most of my streams, pretty much all of them tend to be watched around when they aired. It's very quiet outside tonight. I have the door open on the balcony. It's just quiet. Oh, hey guys, so I should be getting my Cologuard results really soon, right? I sent the Cologuard test in 9 days ago. They got the Cologuard test on October 30th. At most, it's supposed to take 2 weeks to get the results. I should get that this week. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get it already, to be honest. Hun, news roundup on AFTV2. I haven't done one lately. I'll probably do another one at some point, but, it just depends on how I feel about it. And now that I'm done with now that I handed in the thing I needed to write for my friend, hopefully I can get some time to get the hoodie set up. Oh, Lizzie is here moderating too. Thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie says, crossing my fingers for a clear poop reading. Well, we'll see. I'm going to try to live stream that. Phil said he's the last person standing of the people he knew. Phil, how old are you? You don't have to say. By the way, somebody, our viewer, Happy Quails, mentioned fleece. What I'm wearing right now is a fleece. These things are great. These fleece Columbia, they're soft. These jackets are soft, and they're warm, and they're comfortable, and they're great. I wear them all the time. They might even sell them on Amazon. I swear by these. They last a long time too. I've had AFTV one. We don't have an AFTV one yet. Wonder if they even sell these anymore. You know, I wonder. It's Columbia Fuller Ridge Fleece Jacket. That's what it's called. The Columbia Fuller Ridge Fleece Jacket. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Sure, they make something like this. This feels like one of these things that you can't get it now because the supply chain. Out of stock. This is what's happening. Now, I don't know. Maybe this is not a current model, right? But Amazon has none in stock, and REI has none in stock. But again, I wonder if it's just they don't produce it anymore. Jason Newell is here. MSU Kiwi says, I wear them all the time. Not that brand. Is this it? Maybe they call it a different thing. I don't know. Polly says, I buy them every year from Kohl's, not Columbia, but Croft and Barrel Fleece. They are the best. John A. and Petey likes his new flannel sheets. Very nice. Those are supposed to be warm. Sonic says fleece is made by a way of a petroleum reaction. Polar fleece? Polar fleece is a soft, napped insulating factor made from polyester. Polar fleece is used in jackets, hats, blah, 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 blah. It can be made partially from recycled plastic bottles and is very light, soft, and easy to wash. It originated in 1979. It was a new, light, strong pile fabric meant to mimic and in some way surpass wool. Malden Mill's CEO intentionally declined to patent polar fleece, allowing the material to be produced cheaply and widely to many vendors. How about that? But then they got polar fleece as a trademark. It retains much of its insulating quality even when wet. Non-recycled fleece is made from non-renewable petroleum derivatives. Even if it's made of recycled materials, fleece relies on continued production of non-renewable fossil fuels for the raw material. Interesting. Very interesting, Sonic. Very interesting. Nick for Nick says, Arc'teryx has amazing fleece. Isn't fleece from sheep? Well, there's the fleece fabric, insulating fabric, and there's this fleece. It's used as another word, I think, from wool or something. See, this says sheep shearing is the process in which a worker cuts off the woolen fleece of a sheep. So there's a word there's one meaning of the word fleece which applies to like the coat of a sheep. There's another one for this synthetic fabric. One definition of the word fleece is the woolly covering of a sheep or goat. But there's also polar fleece, which is a fabric, a synthetic fabric. Edward, I'm sorry about your dad. Edward says, we're not going to have turkey anymore in our house because my dad died and he loved turkey, and now it's with my mom, and she's not going to eat a whole turkey by herself. I understand. I'm sorry, Edward. Yeah, Thanksgiving can be a hard family time. I mean, my dad used to love Thanksgiving. It's like his favorite holiday. If you've never seen it, actually there's funny videos out there of once in a while a sheep will be found who hasn't been shorn in like years. And like it'll be like at risk of dying because it can't even move. And they'll do this thing where they'll save the sheep and they'll just shear it. But like, they'll get a professional shearer. But it's so much of the stuff has to come off. But it's really funny watching them fleece it. Like here's this one. See, look at this. Chris the sheep, merino with famously overgrown fleece dies. See? Look at this. Chris the sheep, says BBC, a merino sheep famed for once being discovered with the world's heaviest fleece, has died in Australia. It generated global attention in 2015 after being spotted in the wild with what was described as 6 years' worth of wool. A life-saving haircut followed, with a shaver removing a record 88 pounds of fleece. At the time, animal welfare experts warned the weight of the wool at almost 5 times normal size were a risk to his health. It was later removed by a national shearing champion. It's unbelievable. But the videos, when you see videos of sheep like this, it's just crazy. MSU says Shrek the sheep has a wiki page. Lizzie says, I hate seeing that shear your sheep. Shrek the sheep, Wikipedia. Rose to gained international fame in 2004 when he avoided being caught and shorn for 6 years. Merinos are normally shorn annually, but Shrek apparently hid in caves avoiding mustard. His shearing was broadcast on national television in New Zealand. Shrek became I said his shearing, and Siri thought I said Siri. He became a national icon for New Zealand. He was taken to meet the Prime Minister. He was euthanized in 2011. Shrek the sheep. The story of Shrek the sheep, Montessori handiwork. Tired Pup says the sheep game is a good YouTube channel of Scottish sheep farmer and shearing. Shaft says that was like everyone when we couldn't get haircuts during COVID. I bet you can find the Shrek shearing. Yeah, if you go to YouTube, I might have to watch some videos later. It's like there's a bunch of videos on YouTube about it. See, the sheep escaped for 6 years. When he returned, everyone was amazed. Shearing Shrek the sheep. That's 3 years of growth. I'll have to watch some videos about Shrek the sheep. Patrick Davis says, now I got to get a haircut. Hey, thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. Patrick, I'm still trying to find, it's on my list, Grandma Pizza. Thank you, Patrick. Grandma Pizza. Darren, I don't know if the sheeps get in pain from that much wool. I'm not sure. It sounds like it can be unhealthy from them. Edward says, I want to get sheepskin seat covers for my car, but they are very expensive, $1,000. Denise Horton says, wasn't the story where they figured he could survive because predators couldn't bite into him? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't know what the deal with this. Kujali says, too bad they don't naturally shed. Is the idea that sheep, they wouldn't have evolved to do this, right? Is the idea that like the breeding of the selective breeding of sheep is what results in sheep now who don't shed? Is that what it is? You know what I'm saying? Because it would seem weird if evolution, if natural selection selected for this animal where after like a few years it like couldn't function properly unless a human cut off the wool. But I'm wondering, you know, if it's something where that the fact, here's something about it. Let's see, maybe this is it. This says we've bred fitness out of our domesticated animals. They talk about merino sheep by the Science Explorer. Over thousands of years since humans have begun raising sheep, we have bred them to fit our purposes without regard for the impracticality of such traits. In particular, merino sheep grow their wool indefinitely and never shed, no matter the season. Even if the sheep didn't have to rely on farmers to shear them of their burden on a yearly basis, they have been bred to produce extremely soft, crimped wool that bears little resemblance to the more useful outer hair grown by their wild ancestors. That's interesting. So I don't know all the specifics about how natural selection works with sheep, but it makes it sound like the current merino sheep now was not They didn't evolve in nature without human input to the breeding. Questella says all the farmer animals have similar stories. Tired pup likes these sheep. Valais black nose. Those are pretty. A domestic sheep originating in Valais region of Switzerland. Those are cute. Valais black nose. Gone with the Gale is here. I didn't know we'd be talking so much about sheep tonight. Animals are very interesting. In an alternate universe, I would go live on a farm and just work with the animals. I think like farm animals are very cool. But I have so little experience with them. You know, if you grow up like in some areas, you're just surrounded by the animals all the time. Happy Quail says, I live on a farm. I think it'd be cool to visit a farm for a few days. And just check out what it's like. MSU Kiwi says, New Zealand has 5 million people and 26 million sheep. Mix-a-Lot read the Merino was first bred in Spain around the Middle Ages and was kept as a Spanish monopoly. Exports of the breed were not allowed. Letter Artist says, I live on a farm with no animals. Hey, Kangaroo Island TV is here. Stan from Kangaroo Island, Australia says, Kangaroo Island, with a population of only 4,500 people and an estimated 500,000 sheep, has a ratio of 111 sheep per person? Is that true, Kangaroo Island? Wow. Now, this is an article. You know what? Stan, Stan's gonna love this. Stan, I looked up Kangaroo Island sheep on Google. Look what the first result is, Stan, when I Google Kangaroo Island sheep. It's your paper. It's the Islander. That's Stan's paper. I bet Stan wrote this article. Oh no, it says published with permission from the lead essay. So that's not that's an article somebody else wrote, it looks like. But it's from the Islander. Kangaroo Island sheep industry is starting to rebuild after the recent fires in Australia wiped out more than 50,000 of its flock. Wow. The Kangaroo Island fires began on December 20th, 2020 and burnt half the island? I didn't know about this, I don't think. I don't think we covered the Kangaroo Island fires. 2019. Wow. I didn't know about the Kangaroo Island fires. That's Stan's paper, The Islander. Kangaroo Island is Australia. No, not sheep. There it is. Kangaroo Island. Did I cover the Kangaroo Island fires? I mean, I know I covered Australia fires. I don't remember specifically discussing Kangaroo Island. Now, it's possible I did. I mean, I didn't know you at the time. So it's possible I did talk about Kangaroo Island. I don't specifically remember it. I certainly remember covering Australia fires. I feel like I was covering fires more in like New South Wales, maybe South Australia, but more like on the mainland. Country girl is here. She said, living in the country, we have had quite the variety of animals. My two favorites were horses and goats. Oh, she said they were part of the Australian fires. Right. So I think I definitely covered the Australia fires in Australia, but I don't think I talked specifically about Kangaroo Island. That's interesting. Alex Duncan says 2019-20 was awful for fires in Australia. Yes, Kangaroo Island is here. Kangaroo Island says you mentioned covering it when we first met. It's possible I talked about it and just forgot talking about it. I can't remember. Gone with Gale says farmers in Scotland spray paint their sheep so they can tell them apart from other farmers' sheep. Interesting. See, Michelle Sparks, you covered it. It said you covered it as a whole. I know when we've covered fires from Australia, like we can listen to the scanners. Sometimes you can listen to the scanners there. I'm glad we haven't had to cover that lately. I gotta say, it's so. I mean, there haven't been that many big fires this year. I feel like. I mean, some years there's more or like bigger ones. We covered one. We covered the fire. The last fire we covered, I think, was the one which was threatening Lake Tahoe. But I feel like recently for California, I mean, there's clearly been fires, but obviously there's been big fires. But in terms of what we would normally cover, like it tends to be something when it's more a fire that's threatening like a highly populated area or a lot of people and housing. Normally I'm not going to cover a fire just if it's like a big fire that's like affecting like lived in area. Sonic, the Oregon fire stuff like with Medford, I think was last year. I don't think that was this year. Mix-a-Lot says we're approaching our main fire season in Australia. But I mean, for like, at least, sometimes with these fires, like lots of people die and stuff. And so I feel like we haven't had that in a little while. If I'm remembering right. Lisa Remo says it was all flooding this year. The Oregon fire stuff was. That was. I remember this. That this was how long was it? 7 hours. That stream. September 8th, 2020 is when that was. You know, I also remember that because I actually got on the air a little late that day. Like, it took me a little while to realize that was going on. I try to be a little more proactive nowadays about, you know, sometimes there'll be some big fire going on and it's not really getting national news coverage. So you really need to keep up and, like, you know, listen to the scanners or look at the local media reports and stuff. Because, I mean, clearly a lot of people watched that and we covered it for a while, but I got on the air kind of late. Like, it had already been going on for a while. I just didn't realize it. I didn't realize how bad it was. So I tried it, and then I remember also, I remember that terrible fire, the one where like the whole town of Paradise got destroyed. Basically, that was the campfire. I remember I was living in Atlanta, and I didn't realize what happened until basically after it happened. Now, it happened pretty fast. That was a notoriously speedy fire, but from these experiences, I try to, like, keep an eye on these things and listen to the scanners myself to try to figure out what's going on, or else you don't catch it. I mean, the campfire was pretty fast though, but still, I try to stay on top of it. Eric Saunders here. Gray Hughes says 2018 had a big fire by Multnomah Falls. It was lucky this year that fire didn't burn a lot more in the Lake Tahoe area. Also, fortunately, there were no. For the last part of the summer, there were no big hurricanes in the U.S. Don't forget that. I feel it was like a pretty quiet second half of the hurricane season. I'm not complaining. Ryder is here. Ted37 thinks there were fewer fires in Southern California. Well, certainly fewer of the type we would cover. Southern California, he mentions. Southern. Dallas Alice says, you jinxed us all. Also, I will say there wasn't. I don't know how many tornado streams we did this year. Maybe some earlier in the year. Anyways. Maybe there'll be a big blizzard. I don't know that we did any blizzard coverage last year. Sonic says television weather says we are in a La Nina, the minimum side of the El Nino. Then last year was, one of the things that happened last winter was the crazy thing in Texas where the power went out. Chris Lund, our viewer, was living like a week without power or something. Freezing weather. One of our viewers said they had a McRib last time. I forget who it was. They said they weren't feeling well because they had a McRib. I just saw this from Wall Street Journal. McDonald's Corp has launched a sweepstakes giveaway of a McRib-themed non-fungible tokens. McDonald's began a sweepstakes giveaway of 10 McRib themes NFTs. Sonic says it was Jake from State Farm. I wonder if Jake from State Farm knows about the McRib themed NFTs. Digital collectibles. Here's an article from Geekspin. McDonald's is giving away McRib NFTs. Oh, look, here it is. This is from McDonald's. I present to you the most important NFT. Retreat for a chance to win. Winners only need crypto wallet to receive NFT. Then person joke down here just got it for free without retweeting. So that's what it looks like. But an NFT is actually, it's like a, the idea is it's a digital collectible. So you get like this video, but it has a unique marker which identifies it as yours, as a legit, it's one of the real ones. And that it belongs to you. It has like, it's a code that identifies it as yours and as one of the legit ones. Someone tell Jake from State Farm. It stands for non-fungible token. It's basically like a digital collectible. Sonic says your local Circle K probably has a pretty decent McRib knockoff. Pinochet says you can own it right now by simply screenshotting it LOL. Hey, good to see Pinochet. We hadn't seen Pinochet for a while. I think this is the third straight stream that Pinochet has popped into the chat. I love it. Oh, Jake from State Farm, did you say you had a McRib? Because they're giving away McRib NFTs. Sonic said you're the one who mentioned you had a McRib and you felt sick. Eddie Holner used to work at McDonald's for 10 years. How did you like it? Jake from State Farm said I had 2 and they were horrible. McRib. Is a McRib a sandwich or just a rib? I guess it's a sandwich. It's boneless ribs? It must be boneless. I can't imagine you eat a sandwich with bone-in ribs. Does McDonald's still do the contest that I used to love where they would give you the little game pieces and you'd have to tear them open? They probably don't do that anymore. Sonic says it's pressed formed pork. It's molded into the rib shape, says Emily. McRib, says Wikipedia, this is a barbecue flavored pork sandwich. Wait, what? I think this hasn't been updated. Has it? The McRib consists of a restructured boneless pork patty shaped like a miniature rack of ribs. Is that the idea? Is that what it looks like? Is it just sandwich? Oh, thank you, Patrick Davis. Patrick says, I was doing my research about NFTs earlier today. Well, thank you, Patrick Davis. Maybe you can try to win the contest for the McDonald's NFT. A lot of people are super into NFTs these days. Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Good luck with your NFT stuff. Chris Lund remembers the Monopoly game from McDonald's. I remember that too. Jeff says, if you never had a McRib, you're missing out. Sonic says, that's a McRib Mark 1. They're smaller now. McRib is back. There, that's what it looks like now. So the idea is that this is all one piece. That's all one piece of pork, right? That's one piece of pork. And it's just pork formed to look like a thing of a bunch of ribs. Correct? Am I right about this? Am I right about this? No? West Hawk says no? Is it different? McRib, yeah, McRib pork patty. I'm right. Why are you saying no? It says McRib pork patty. I didn't even know this. Sonic says yes, one molded piece of pork product. So it's made to look like there's a bunch of ribs and there should be like sauce in the middle. Well, I guess ribs are connected. That's true. Well, the original ribs they're broken off from the whole rack of ribs. Okay, so it's meant to look like part of a rack of ribs, but it's just a remolded. There's no bone in it. Pinochet thinks it's not safe for human consumption. Sonic thinks it's formed into that shape. Kangaroo Island says it's basically spam. I'd like to confirm this. Here's how the McRib is actually made from Wikipedia. Well, this is 2007 from HuffPost. I assume it's still the same thing. The pork gets shaped. Okay. Real pork, this is from 2007. Real pork meat is processed and mixed with other ingredients. They move the meat around the factory a bit. It's like this. Then the pork gets shaped into something that vaguely resembles a rack of ribs. Okay, there you go. I assume that's still how they do it. I did not know this. 58 Music says, look at the picture without the sauce on it. McRib patty without sauce. Naked McRib patty? Is this real? Reddit? I don't know if that's real. It's from Reddit. Is that real? Jeff Anderson says, I'm getting so hungry right now. It's from Reddit. Reddit something. I just never thought about it because I don't get McRibs. But it's just funny, the idea that they I guess they make it, they make some kind of pork product which looks like ground beef, and then they just shape it into the original shape. Like there's no reason for it to have that shape. Like it could have any shape. Patty says, looks like focaccia, the bread. It says home style bun. McRib. It's only here for a limited time. This doesn't make any sense. It's no wonder the McRib is, in capital letters, the most important sandwich of the year. Now, why is that capitalized? Why is that capitalized? Is there some award or something? Happy Quails thinks the McRib was great when it first came out, but it was gone for years. Finally, it came back, but nowhere near as good. It's amazing to see how few people noticed a drop in quality. Sonic says McNuggets are processed in a similar manner. But when I see a McNugget to me doesn't look like an actual identifiable part of a chicken. I just assume. It's not like you see chickens running around with these oval shapes hanging off them. It's just funny that they actually bother to make it look like the rack of ribs. Westhawk says, notice they didn't say best. Ted thinks quality better in the past. Yeah, I did not. It's weird. I guess I don't see the McDonald's ads. I didn't fully appreciate what the sandwich was. Now I can appreciate it. McRib. It's called the McRib. Sonic says there's a cult of people that follow it in limited market releases. No joke. Look up McRib Fanatics Travel. The travel. The McRib is coming back, and these are the best fan tweets? No, that's not what he was talking about. McRib. I can't find it, the Fanatics Travel, Sonic. I believe you, though. Anyways. All right, enough McRib talk. We did it. We discussed what McRib is. So now I know. Now I know what McRib is. I don't know that in my life I don't think in my life I have cared enough to ever figure out what McRib actually is. Now at least I know what it is. So that's good. You learn something new every day. Sonic says The Simpsons did a parody episode about the Rib Witch. I feel like everybody knew all about McRib except me. I just didn't really know anything about it. Didn't spend 2 cents. By the way, since Wendy's started promoting their hot fries, they're promoting how their fries are going to be hot and fresh. Are they more hot than they used to be? I guess you'd have to talk to somebody who goes to Wendy's a lot. Cabrincito is here. Westhawk says no, they're not that more hotter. Kujali likes McCafe. Got a can of McCafe coffee. Han, please do not repeat comments. Please do not repeat comments. Please. Please do not repeat comments. Okay, enough fast food talk. I had no intention of spending this amount of time on this topic. I only spent the amount of time on the topic because I really knew nothing about McRib. Well, we got into it because we were talking about NFTs. Han, you did not miss my answer. When I cooked tonight, I had a chicken breast that I made last night. I made 2 chicken breasts, and I had one tonight. And then, you know what I did? I had some corn here. And I was going to make the corn, but I said to myself, usually when I eat chicken and corn, it's not enough. So I had chicken, corn, and rice. I had corn and rice. Corn on the cob, and I also made brown rice. I had both of them. And I feel like that was more filling. That was certainly more filling than just the corn. Corn, and that's how crazy I got today. Corn and rice. It seemed to fill me up okay. I know it sounds crazy to have both corn and rice. Oh my gosh. Thank you, West Hawk. No, I had brown rice. Brown rice. Oh. It's just been so busy lately trying to finish that writing thing up. Denise Horton says, that's what I make at times. Well, who knows what news will happen this week? I have no idea. I should make an NFT. I should look. I don't know how much does it cost to make your own NFT. For the fun of it, I can make one, but I'm sure there's a cost. Okay. How much does it cost to mint an NFT? Poster grind. It's like a digital work of art. Each NFT has to be minted on a blockchain like Ethereum. Okay. How much does it cost? Just as NFTs have grown, the cost of minting or creating an NFT can fall into a very wide range, anything from under $1 to over $1,000, according to Slate. Many popular NFT wallets are going to let you mint an NFT completely free of charge, though some are going to charge a basic fee of between $70 and $120 to help you hit the ground running. Interesting. Cheryl says the time change has her all messed up. Might have me a little messed up too. Kate Links has been here. MSU will buy an Agenda Free TV NFT for $1. Edward says Chumley on Pawn Stars has his own NFT collectible coins. Yeah, I bet it's messed up. I mean, I bet maybe I'm a little more tired because of the extra hour. The hour change. It's a good point. Are people having a hard time finding stuff for like that they're buying? I don't know if people are shopping for Christmas yet or whatever, but or Hanukkah or whatever Halloween you or whatever holiday you're celebrating. I don't know. Are people going to have a hard time like literally just finding the stuff they want to get? This I do not know. Like nowadays, if I want something and I look it up, and like it's in stock, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. It's this weird, like you're feeling grateful if something is in stock. That didn't used to be the case. Ted says repair shop says parts are hard to get. Sonic says having trouble finding stuff I need to get, let alone want. Oh, I know. I've said I was looking to replace one of my computers for like work like months ago, and I just can't do it right now. It's very expensive and it takes forever to get the computer. So I've had that. I mean, this is not frivolous stuff I'm looking up, just like basic stuff. Kujli, I think that Brady story was reported in the news. Emily says no shortages at my local shops. I mean, my grocery has stuff, but MSU Kiwi says shipping is bad here in NZ. Lots of shipping or shopping. Lots of empty shelves. No Christmas stock. Some shipping lines no longer come to New Zealand. More profitable for them to Europe. Ted says price is way up. Wine cooler for $7.50 and I ended up paying $9.50. We're hearing a bunch of trains tonight. MGD says, I have to go to more stores, almost like a shell game. Edward says, we are fully stocked with toilet paper and Lysol disinfectant spray. Well, I'll let you know how. I'm not really doing much holiday shopping. Oops, I got my chair caught in my light cable. By the way, if anybody has any documentary recommendations, let me know. I enjoy watching documentaries. But you guys have been like told me about some. You guys told me about the Killdozer story. I don't know if you guys told me about Squid Game. Sonic says some electronics and things that are highly dependent on chemicals are hard to find due to supply chain on those manufacturing systems. Emily, I need when I do get a PC for work though, I need certain things in it, like a graphics card and stuff. So they're not that cheap. Denise Horton, I appreciate you watching. This is when everybody starts going to bed. Chris says MSNBC did a documentary tonight. What did they do? See, I've said it before, because like I'm working at home, right? I work at home. One thing about working in an office is you hear about more stuff because you're with people. You're with people, first of all. You're not working at home with nobody. Also, but you're with people who might be a bit different than you, right? And I just found when I would work in an office, I would like hear about more things. And things like I should have heard about, but I'm just, if you're by yourself and you're not getting, you don't know what other people, like things, Google Lens is something you guys told me about, which is like, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was so easy. And you just don't hear about things. Oh, Chris said they did a 4-season total landscaping documentary. I see. Question, I don't really have a go-to graphic card. I just try to get something pretty decent for my work. Sonic is crashing out as also. Sonic says Arizona did not change clocks. This is all later for me. Hey, that's right. It's kind of the equivalent of 1:13 a.m. It's as if it was 1:13 a.m. here for Sonic's time. Thank you, Sonic. I appreciate it, Sonic. Thank you. Lisa said the documentary on Netflix about Rita Moreno is good. Interesting. Did Sean TV showed up. Hey, Sean TV, I think is still in Maine. Sean TV, are you still in Maine? Look who popped in, guys. Sean TV popped in. We got Rusty Craig here, too. What was... Oh, the Andre the Giant documentary? I think, Astro Josh, I've seen that, if it was the same movie that was on HBO. HBO had an Andre the Giant documentary. It was very good. Sean says, I owe you a pic. Yeah, Sean was going to take a picture of the beach in Maine where he's staying and then send it so I could show it to you guys. Sean just popped in. Kisei popped in. Look at this. Kisei just showed up from the Netherlands. Some people leave and some people pop in. Shaft is heading to bed. It is 12:15 a.m. We started kind of late today. I got started kind of late. Maybe people are just bored. Maybe they're not even tired, they're just bored. That could be the case too. What can I do? What can I do? It's only my broadcast. What can I do about it being boring? Denise is here. Do I like to bike? I do enjoy biking, but I never do it anymore because I'm like, I don't have a bike, and I don't like biking anywhere there's traffic because I'm nervous I'll get hit and injured. Darren, I saw Munich. It was good. If I'm thinking of the same movie. Happy Quail says there are people who do bike riding streams. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. If I go to YouTube and I look up live bike ride, it's interesting. So you look at like this person, scenic bike ride in California, 1.9 million views, 4K. I never watched 4K. Maybe one day I'll get a 4K TV or monitor so I can watch stuff in 4K. Oh, I think I'd like to see 4K on a TV. Chris Lund's going to buy a rad bike. NYC live bike ride during COVID-19. I forget in terms of. AJ says I have a 4K a TV. It's pretty cool. HD TV resolution is. I don't even remember. I guess HDTV is 1920 by 1080. There's also 8K? I don't know. My TV is a 1080. It's like several years old. Happy Quails says John Hicks rides around in LA. Kisei says she learned to ride only 1.5 years ago. It's amazing, you just have to get past the fear. You just got to be careful when you ride, because if you hit a car, if you get like in an accident with a car, like you could get seriously injured. She says, we'll bike when you come to the Netherlands. We have special bike lanes, no reason to worry. Only we don't bike in Amsterdam, that's scary. I would love to visit the Netherlands. We have a couple of viewers in the Netherlands. I should take advantage of that. I should go visit them. Maybe that'll be my next trip. I would love to visit the Netherlands. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. But I'd have to know people there, because I wouldn't know my way around. Man, that would be fun. Kisei is going to take a cold shower as usual. But we have several viewers in the Netherlands. I've never been to Australia. We have viewers in Australia too, and New Zealand. Alexandria is from the Netherlands. Are you watching in the Netherlands right now, Alexandria? Is that true? Do a viewer tour. I'll show you around. I would love it. I would love it. Bryce Saug is here. That would be so cool. Alexandria says she lives there. I should go to one of these countries like the Netherlands where there's a bunch of people who live there, who watch the channels. Maybe next year I'll do a trip. Alexandria is near the beach there. Wow. That would be fun. I had so much fun when I went to Taiwan. I visited a friend in Taiwan. She showed me around. That was it was like for several weeks. She just like showed me we did a whole train trip around the island. It's so fun going to a new country. If you know people there, especially, who can just show you around. MSU Kiwi says, time for dinner. Thank you, MSU Kiwi. And thanks for shouting at the mods. Thanks, MSU Kiwi. I appreciate it. Enjoy your dinner. Paula wants to go to Great Britain and Scotland. I've never been to Scotland. It's just so much better if you know, if you can find people you know there. This is where our viewer Alexandria, she says she lives in Egmond aan Zee, a village on the North Sea coast of Holland. Wow, I bet that's super cool. That's where Alexandria is right now, right there. Right on the coast. I bet it's amazing. Wow. She lives here. Let's see what it looks like. This is where she lives. I bet she recognizes this. This would be super cool. How cool would this be? She says, I'm never going to leave. If you have contact info, Alexandria, if you want to like send me an email address or a Twitter, send it to me on Twitter, or email me at agendafreetv@gmail.com. I have a little. What I do is when we have like viewers in different countries, I keep a little list of like people who watch the channel in different countries. I figure maybe if I go there one day, this is who I know in different countries. So maybe I'll take a trip there, which has never actually happened yet, but. It's good having people. It's just a way to reach people in case I go, because you never know. She says, we'll email you. Cool. I'll add it to my list one day. I could even go to Europe and go to a couple countries. And then I could do some live streams while I'm there, right? We could live stream for the people who are not there. That'd be very fun. I guess I'd have to get like a different phone card or something. Sean votes for Europe. See, when I was in LA, I was so busy in LA because I was just catching up with friends. But if I, like, say, went to Europe, I don't have lots of friends there. So I could do a lot of live streaming where I'm just showing what I'm doing. Emily said you could do a whole year touring places, visiting viewers. Oh, I could. I mean, there's a lot of viewers in different places. That'd be fun. It's just, at a certain point, first of all, I wouldn't be able to cover any news. Happy Quill said you could write off as a business expense. Well, maybe I could. I could in the sense of if it was going for that purpose. But at the same time, if I were to do it for a year, I wouldn't have much income coming in probably. I'd be spending money without taking much in. That's the downside. Sean says your live streams would be fun because you would contrast all the things that are different. Questella says don't come here. I'm not sure where Questella is. No, Europe would be great. I've always wanted to go to some different countries in Europe. Maybe I'll do it next year. Who knows? Just go and do it. Maybe it was a little warmer out. That would be great. We should do it next year. Questella says Ohio-Indiana border. That would be like the most fun thing. Nefari says Nordic countries are awesome. I'd love to visit Nordic countries. But again, I'd have to know people there. Emily says Swiss Alps and Iceland are my top two. You mean to visit? I've been to Iceland before years ago. It was fun. I went in the winter. I'll put it in the back of my mind and think about it. I've never been to Africa. Oh, hey, Sean sent his photo. Guys, Sean sent in his photo. I have the photo from Sean of where he's staying in Maine. Looks lovely. He says it's not that interesting. I think it looks lovely. So here is Sean TV's photo from his coastal residence where he's on, I don't know if it's a vacation, but he's staying in Maine. Here it is, guys. There is Sean's location in Maine. That's where he is staying. Questella said Africa would be amazing. I mean, places all around the world would be amazing. I'd love to go to Africa at some point. Happy Quilts likes Maine. So there's where Sean is staying, right there. Oh, by the way, Sean, I owe Sean a big thank you. I owe Sean a thank you. Sean made a generous donation, a very generous donation. I just got it on my phone, Sean. I just got my strike notification. Sean, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Very nice of Sean. Alexandria says, that is a beautiful photo. I love the beach so much. Paula Faust says, I was born in Maine. For somebody who's from New England, I've spent very little time in Maine. I think I've been to Maine one time. I went to Portland once with a bunch of friends in the summer of 2004, I think. We went for July 4th. So I would love to go back in there. I mean, I've really spent no time in Vermont. I've spent hardly any time in New Hampshire. Spent a little time in Connecticut. I don't know that I think I've been to Rhode Island once. For somebody who's actually from New England. Kujali says, ocean is so blue. That's a nice picture, Sean. Thanks again, Sean. Very kind of you. Alexandria says, can we exchange our house for a year? I always wanted to be in Florida. Alexandria, how much would it cost for me to rent a place in New Zealand, in the Netherlands, and get really good internet there? How much would that cost? If I want to go to the Netherlands and get a place for me and get really good internet. And it's got to be a place that's not going to be that noisy. Edward likes the photo. €350 got 5. No, I don't need 5G. I just need 1G internet. I just need 1G. 1G is fine as long as the upload speed is 1G. But how much is the rent? Oh, you're saying the rent is €350? Oh, I don't know how the exchange rate is now with euros. A euro is 1.16 US dollar. A hostel? I can't stay in a hostel and do my broadcast from a hostel. I'm talking about, in theory, if I ever moved to another country, I would need an apartment that I could have a studio in. That's a longer term goal, is to be able to live in another country for a year. Of course, the problem is if I go to Europe, there's the whole question of like, how about all the equipment I need to do my streams? Gotta like buy computers and stuff. Nefarious says Europe is generally hard to move past the 90-day rule. And then there's that whole question. Alexandria has a house there. She has 3 floors. Kisei is here too. She says, I lived in New England and never went to Maine. Regret it all the time. Can you ship the equipment to yourself? I don't know the practicality of trying to like ship a computer to Europe and have it not get broken in the shipping. And how long will it take to ship it? You should move to Bolivia or Ecuador and work from there, says Torbett. Well, I understand what you're saying. That would certainly be interesting. But for now, I want to live where I know people, which will not be Bolivia or Ecuador. I mean, I'd like to visit both those countries. Kisei says, not good to ship it because he won't be able to use the appliances without converters. Anyways, this is something to be figured out. I think it's more of a visit thing. More of a visit thing. Denise wants me to move to Boston. Right. MGD says visit first. You can visit a place and then decide if you want to stay there for longer. Anyways, this is not something that's going to happen anytime soon. Moving out of the country. This is a long-term thing. Callie Voltaire is here. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting tonight. We had a bunch of people leave the stream, and then we have people showing up to the stream at 12:32 a.m. Sean TV showed up late. Kisei showed up. Callie Voltaire showed up. Move to Nigeria, says Kisei. I would love to visit Nigeria, I'll tell you that. I'd love to visit Africa. I'd love to visit Nigeria. I'd love to visit. There were a bunch of people when I was covering the St. Vincent and the Grenadines volcano. There were a bunch of people who said you should come, who lived in that. There were people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and also people from Barbados who said you should come visit us here. I'd love to go visit that. You know, that's. Callie Voltaire would love to visit South Africa. Anyways, Bebel is here. It was good though. I had a good, when I went to LA, it was good. When I went to Los Angeles for a week, it was good to just kind of get away for a week and just not be doing the new stuff for a week. So I think that's a good thing to do once in a while. Edward, my plane ticket to LA was cheap because I used miles. The Caribbean, Alexandria would love to visit the Caribbean. I went to, actually the Bahamas is not the Caribbean because the Bahamas is, no, Bahamas is the Caribbean. Bermuda's not the Caribbean. If I remember right. I went to the Bahamas one time, and I really enjoyed it. But I did not stay that long. Does the Bahamas count as the Caribbean because it's on the north of Cuba? The Caribbean Sea is here. I don't know that the Bahamas is technically a Caribbean country because the Bahamas is up here, but the Caribbean's down here. Maybe it's not officially a Caribbean country. See, it says Caribbean. I guess it's not. Maybe it's near the Caribbean. I've mentioned this before. I went to, this was years ago, right after college. I went for some people from college. We actually played a bunch of basketball there, which was fantastic. But that was a long time ago. I bet if I did these streams at like 3 a.m, I'd just have people watching from Europe. There'd be like no one from the U.S. watching. It would just be people from Europe watching. 12:36. Bebel mentions Norway or Switzerland. I don't know if we have We have Norway, Sweden, Finland. Do we have viewers regularly from those countries? I don't know. I don't off the top of my head, I can't recall regular viewers from Norway, Sweden, or Finland. Years ago, we had a viewer called named Norway, whose screen name was Norway. But I don't know right now if we have them. Sarah Joyce says people in Cali and Hawaii would watch too. Well, we would get, insomniacs everywhere. But Hawaii, yes. Astro Josh is here. Cala Voltaire says, Wikipedia says, Bahamas sometimes considered Caribbean. There were some viewers from Norway. I just don't remember. Irene Cloudbird is here, who wants to go to Peru. If you joined the stream late, we talked about McRib a bunch. Tim says, I was there in Bahamas and they said they were part of the ZCA. I don't know what that is. You can just Google, is Bahamas a Caribbean country? Caribbean Wikipedia as Cal Voltaire says, the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands are sometimes considered to be part of the Caribbean, even though they are neither within the Caribbean Sea nor on its border. However, the Bahamas is a full member state of the Caribbean Community. Okay. Free de Smet is watching from Belgium. How about that? Free de Smet is watching from Belgium. Okay. Cal Voltaire says, last stream of guys from Norway was a late broadcast. CND Boy is here. The neat thing about Europe is you can just visit so many countries. They're all next to each other. So you don't have to take a 6-hour flight to visit a different country. Kisei is going to Denmark in January. It's so fun. You can just go to a different country. CND Boy is on Vancouver Island. Nice. Price Talk, I don't know that I've been to Nantucket before. I don't think I have. I've been to Martha's Vineyard. I'd like to go visit Nantucket. I think we might have another viewer, CND Boy, one or more viewers from Vancouver Island. I can't remember if Denise Horton's in British Columbia. I'm not sure if she's on Vancouver Island. Sean says you can rent an RV in one country and drop it off in another. I'm going to do that. Now, of course, that involves you actually driving in the foreign country. I drove a little in Taiwan. I'd be scared I'd get in an accident, I think. That's a neat idea, though, Sean. That's cool. When are you going to do that, Sean? DC is from Glasgow. We are all the world is looking at just now with COP26. Thank you, CND Boy. Sean's going to do it in summer 2022. If I happen to take a trip to Europe at the time, we'll meet up, Sean. In 2022. Peak Time Racing is in British Columbia, but he's in Vancouver. Sean is going to visit next summer Europe. He's going to rent an RV. He's going to start in Germany and end in Italy. Wow. Kujali says Laura Malcolm, the viewer, is from Vancouver Island. Callie Voltaire says the problem with RVs in Europe is gas prices. Sean should be okay with that, I would think. For me, it might be a problem. But for Sean, I think for Sean it'll be okay. Unless there's a big crypto crash. Kisei says, we go to Germany for gas. Dolores is here. Dolores Colbert. Oh, Denise is there. Denise Horton is there. Denise, are you Vancouver Island or not before you go? I thought Denise said goodnight like 45 minutes ago. Oh, thanks, Paula Faust, for the Bushiba, the smiling Bushiba sticker. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. Denise says she's in Lake Cowichan, Vancouver Island. Another one of our viewers said they were on Vancouver Island. That was 5 minutes ago. CND boy, I think. Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul is here. He says, stay away from Illinois. Illinois is corrupt. Yeah, somebody sent a Mr. Perfect sticker today. I think what I'm going to do is we're at 2:53 on this stream. I think we'll make it an even 3 hours. This stream kind of went by kind of fast. I don't know why. We were just kind of hanging out. But I think we'll make it an even 3 hours on this stream. This is pretty late. It's 12:43. CND boy loves Cowichan Valley, where Denise lives. Dolores is in Arkansas. Believe me, if I didn't need to actually work, I would just go visit everybody in their different around the world. That would be perfectly enjoyable. Yes, Questel, it's been 2 hours and 54 minutes. Edward says, I'm from Illinois. It's not so bad here. Sean says, mix work and play. We got to do enough work to be able to play. I mean, I enjoy my work, so let me be clear about that. I do enjoy the work. You can make a lot of money with travel streams. I don't know. I don't know how many people would watch the live streams. You never know. You never know. I have no idea. "58 Music is here." With travel, a lot of the travel channels are more, they don't do live streaming so much. They produce these videos, right? That's a whole different world. I think what we would do is just kind of do some live streams. And I like covering the new stuff, so. Sean says, we know right now the quality in the formula. And some of that would change if I were on the move. Well, at some point we'll do it. I'll do a trip, and I'll do a trip to somewhere where not LA, where I don't have a lot of friends, and we'll just do a bunch of streams. We're going. I've been meaning to do that for a long time. It's just the pandemic got in the way, and also I'm going to be moving probably fairly soon. But I think next year. Chris Lund is buying a rad Rover. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'd love to go to, speaking of Chris, I'd love to go to Austin at some point too. Chris is buying a rad Rover bike. Yeah, exactly. Sean TV, you're right. Sean says we need to hook up Steve and Elon so you have internet everywhere. Sean, that would be a huge change. If once everyone has like 5G internet all over the place, that'll really revolutionize live streaming, because you'll have like high quality live streaming everywhere. That's like a huge thing. That'll be a huge thing. I agree. So Rad Rover. Chris is getting a Rad Rover. Is this what it is? I don't know enough about bikes to know what these do. Electric bike? Sean TV just bought a Rad Power bike. Chris, say what makes it so good, Chris? Chris, what makes it so good? Feel free to promote the bike. Julie says your broadcast be like Lick Steve's Europe on Channel 13. I don't even know what that is. Is that live? I've never ridden an electric bike. Sean got the Rad Mini. I'm waiting for Chris to explain why it's so good. Rad Mini. Sean got one like this, a folding bike. I've never ridden an electric bike. Chris says it's an electric, so you can pedal. So you can either pedal or you can have the bike just go on its own. Sean says the Rad Mini will fold up and fit in his van. Cala Voltaire likes electric bikes. Serious commenter has a Townie Go. So why are these things, why is it so fun? Townie Go. E-bikes. Townie Go. Chris says it was really comfortable. "10 reasons to buy an e-bike, cyclist. They'll help you go further, faster, longer." They'll get you riding more. Okay. Because you'll be riding more, you can pedal more. They'll help you save money. They're great for commuting. I'm still confused. They're safer than regular bikes? Why? Most bike accidents on the road take place at junctions such as crossroads or roundabouts. This is often due to the fact that it takes a few vital seconds for a halted cyclist to build up speed. Having that little motor to help you accelerate will get you out of the danger zone faster. You're also less likely to jump a red light because you won't feel so aggravated about having to abandon all that nicely built up momentum. That's interesting. You'll be more willing to slow for bends and corners too, where most cyclists come off, because you can use the bike's motor to accelerate out of the other side. This is very interesting. Finally, because you'll be able to keep up with the flow of traffic more easily, fewer cars, buses, and lorries will need to overtake you. They're great for dealing with hills. That's interesting. E-bike really comes into their own when they're tackling climbs. They're great for crosswinds and headwinds. They make ideal touring bikes. Is a thicker tire more comfortable? Is that the idea? They're fun to ride. The thing about like how they accelerate faster is really interesting. Why wide tires are better, bespoke cycling. Simply put, the wider the tire, the lower you want to set your... Oh, I'm confused. Why wide tires are better? Because you can achieve a more comfortable ride with improved grip and not compromise speed, simply by running a wider tire at lower pressures. That's interesting. Bespoke blog. Why are wide tires getting popular? It turns out that despite previous thinking, they're no slower than skinny tires, and in some cases produce lower riding resistance. Where there is an argument against the wide tires, the wind resistance of the bigger frontal surface area and extra weight. Interesting. Emily says less likely to get taken out by sandy patch or gravel. Sean says you can do more terrain with a thicker tire. Chris says Austin have tons of hills. That's really interesting about the hills. It's something I just don't bike much these days, so I don't think about that. But you just don't have to worry about the hills anymore. Sean says it has an interchangeable battery, which means you just swapping the battery keeps you going. Cala Voltaire says they're so easy to use and give you a hyper experience while you are in nature. Sean says, when I was in NYC, a lot of the bike delivery people were on rad e-bikes. Now they're you have to make sure no one steals it, I'm sure, because they're expensive. Kisei says they're really popular here in the Netherlands, especially with older people. Emily says, my city has hundreds of miles of greenway all through town. This is interesting. I didn't really know this about e-bikes. Chris says, we have a guy that delivers DoorDash using his bike, and he is fast. And you can just see more places, I guess. Sean says you can go further without killing yourself. Interesting. No, CND boy, I don't want to bike right now because around here there's a bunch of traffic and stuff, and I don't like riding a bike where there's traffic. Nefarious says no parking time is a plus. Very interesting. Very interesting about e-bikes. See, this is one of these things. Remember I said before, like I think if I worked in an office, I would have heard about this already because somebody would have brought it up. Because I work by myself, I don't hear about these things. Now I hear about stuff from you guys. You're my connection to the outside world. Bryce Oak says, I learned so much watching your shows. Now I know a little about e-bikes. Me too. I knew nothing about them. Chris says, I rode an e-bike today along Lady Bird Bike Trail and I didn't want to get off. Very cool. Hey, MGD was here. I appreciate you watching MGD. Secret Squirrel has an e-bike that goes 70 miles an hour? Callie Voltaire says, we take the place of your coworkers. Sean says a rad e-bike is cheaper than a lot of traditional bikes. Stealth these are stealth electric bikes. This is what Secret Squirrel was talking about. Stealth electric bikes. Stealth is reviewing and expanding its range of e-bikes. Interesting. They are heavy, though. Are they heavy? Very interesting. I bet it's the kind of thing. I bet it's the kind of thing where if I rode one, you can say, well, how is it different? And you just have to ride it. I'm sure if I rode it, I'd be like, oh, now I get it. Denise says, can humans do anything for themselves anymore? Also, I'm sure like there's all these like e-bike reviews on like YouTube, right? There's probably a million of them. Like e-bike buyer's guide. E-bike buyer's guide. I should watch some of these videos. 10 things to know before purchasing an e-bike. Basic e-bike maintenance. Now this is a whole other thing about the maintenance. Oh. You got to have a place to do the maintenance. You got to lubricate it and stuff, right? You got to do all this stuff. A lot of e-bike videos of what I learned from buying and riding my first electric bike. I'm going to watch some e-bike videos. Sean says you can test ride rad bikes for free. Ooh. How about that? Want to test one of our bikes? Showrooms. Seattle and San Diego. Rental fleet locations. They don't have a test ride near me. Well, sort of. I mean, I'm in Orlando. There's nothing here. But they have a whole map where you can do test rides and rentals. Very neat. Chris says they have rad bike tour groups all over the place here. That's how I found out about it. Very cool. Emily says it's a California company. I knew nothing about it. I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm so detached from the world, from all these things the world is doing. Sean says they just opened a showroom in Berkeley. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Zinli just showed up at 1 in the morning. It's 1 in the morning and Zinli showed up. At 1 in the morning. Zinli just showed up. It's now 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. Unbelievable. I think e-bikes might be our last topic of the night. It's actually, for some people, it's really like 2 a.m. because the clocks went back. So for a lot of people's body clocks on the East Coast, it's 2 a.m. Yeah, we've been on over 3 hours. David says people getting out of the bars soon. I don't know if there's anybody out at bars in Orlando right now. I don't even know if the bars are a bunch of bars in Orlando either don't go open on early in the week or they open limited hours early in the week. I'm sure there's some bars open right now, but yeah, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting around that time. I had said before 3 hours. Now we've been on the air over 3 hours. Chris says, I can confirm folks are still across the street yelling. He's in Austin. Sean says everything is closed here. Sean is in Maine. That's interesting. Sean says this place is very much a summer destination. It's almost like being on the Cape in winter. It must be very quiet there, Sean, right now. How'd you end up there, Sean? How'd you end up in Maine in November? On the coast of Maine in November. What are you doing? Did you just have a place there? I'm sure it's very peaceful, actually. I bet it's kind of neat, actually. No, Miss Ravioli, we've been on here for hours. Miss Ravioli, did you just show up too? Hey, thanks, Callie Voltaire, for the donation. We still don't know the name of the hippo in the stickers. But thank you. Callie Voltaire, I appreciate that. I'd love to know the name of the hippo. I don't know. We know there's Mr. Perfect and Bushiba. Oh, she said no bike stickers. This is all I could find. It's kind of like it's an electric chair. That's appropriate. Oh, Sean is in Maine to pick up his adventure van. Cool. You'll have to send us a picture of your adventure van, Sean. That sounds fun. Sean's picking up an adventure van. Sean says, I'm having a local company build me a 4x4 Mercedes Sprinter conversion van for adventuring. Oh my gosh. Guys, Sean's going adventuring. That sounds amazing. Maybe he'll go adventuring to a town near you. Sean, you can let the viewers know. Sprinter can't. This is the kind of thing he's like, a van like this. It's like something like this. Wow, that looks great. Edward says everything I like is very expensive. The e-bike kit he likes is $2,500. Sean is going to go to Key West when he picks up his van. I've never been to the Florida Keys. Hey, Sean, if you pass by Orlando, let me know. You got to go through Central Florida to get to the Keys. That would be great. Emily lived in Key West for 30 years. Oh my gosh. Wow. Very cool. Sean says, I'll be blowing through that area. I have to get into Cali in a month. I get it. Wow. You're going to be going fast. Yeah, a couple weeks until Thanksgiving. All right. Guys, I think we might be reaching that time. It is 1:05 a.m. Emily went to Key West High. Wow. Sean is going to do the dry tortugas. I don't even know what that is. CND Boy, did you just find the channel randomly? CND Boy? Dry Tortugas is a national park. In Key West, it's an archipelago, right, of islands. Oh, I think we've looked this up before. A national park in the Florida Keys. The archipelago's coral reefs are the least disturbed of the Florida Keys reefs. Sean's going there. Very nice. Oops. Hey, thank you, Arizona Jumper. Arizona Jumper says the hippo's name is Popo. How do you know this? Popo, are you sure? Can you send me a link if that's true, or are you just making it up? There's a famous Popo the hippo, I guess. Popo the hippopotamus. That's from Amazon. Maybe Arizona Jumper is referring to that. Thank you, Arizona Jumper. I appreciate it. C&D Boy has been watching for years. Sean is taking a seaplane to get to that national park in the Florida Keys. Wow. Very neat. So, guys, this has been a fun stream. We talked about lots of different things. I got to learn about e-bikes. I got to learn a little about e-bikes. I'm going to do more research on e-bikes. Maybe one day I'll get an e-bike. One day. It's not going to be now. So I really appreciate you guys. We had people coming in early and then leaving and other people coming in late. We got all kinds of people in the chat. So I really appreciate you guys joining and chatting. Hey, and also all the lurkers. Thanks to all the lurkers out there. Maybe we'll get my poopy test results soon. Oh, thank you, Denise Horton. See, Denise said goodnight before, but she was still here. Thank you, Denise, from Canada. I appreciate that, Denise. Thank you. She says, night, Lookner family. Oh, Derek Hansen was in the Lurkers Lounge for an hour. This is a different live feed than your usual. I went to YouTube Live and it was there last night. I went to YouTube Live and it was there. I'm confused. This is, I mean, we do this stream all the time on this channel. Derek Hansen's been looking at e-bikes. Hey, let's thank our moderators. Man, Sarah Joy stayed up all the way. We had Sarah Joy moderating. Thank you, Sarah Joy. Lizzie was moderating tonight. AJ was moderating tonight. I so appreciate our moderators. CND Boy says, never got a notification for our sub channel. CND Boy, first of all, sign up for the Discord. That's the best way to get notifications. If you're signed up for the Discord, it's free. So Sarah Joy will post a link to that. And then also, I always post on the Twitter. The Lookner channel on Twitter. See, I actually give advanced notifications sometimes. But I always post before. But sometimes it's way before. So sign up to those too. Oh, Tim Ahern was watching from Calgary, Canada. So I appreciate you tuning in. And let me say thanks to some of our viewers. Cala Voltaire, Sean TV, CND Boy, Tim Ahern, Chris Lund, Lisa Remo, Jan Porter, Edward Kim, Paula Faust. Did I say Kisei? Emily, Amber E. Lisa Remo, Alexandria, Dave Moss, Secret Squirrel, Bryce Saug, Denise Horton, Arizona Jumper, thank you for watching. I don't know if we get an answer. I don't know if I get information. We didn't get an answer from Arizona Jumper yet whether she knew for real the hippo's name was Popo. I think she might have been joking. Free Dismet was watching from Belgium. Andrew C. Thank you, Andrew C. I think my haircut is kind of adequate, so I'm glad it's not. I'm glad you like it. I feel it's like not great, but at least it doesn't look awful. Jan Porter was watching. Hey, big thanks to everybody who donated too. That is super nice of you. Let's see. I got to get my list out here. I want to give an extra shout out. Thank you, Patty, for watching. we had here Barb Filer, Ben Jam, and Arizona Jumper, Queen of the South, Jake from State Farm, West Hawk, The Bacon Be Shaken, Hetty Silovitz, Denise Horton, Bob Piffle, Kenneth Colton. So kind of you. Patty, John A. and Petey. Sonic C. Michelle Sparks, Patrick Davis. MSU Kiwi, Paula Faust, Callie Voltaire, Arizona Jumper, Denise Horton, and Sean TV. Thank you so much. So kind of you guys. That's really nice of you. Super nice of you. You are the ones who allow me to do this, so I really appreciate it. Very kind of you. Arizona Jumper says, it says Popo the Hippo when you click on Super Sticker. This is fascinating. Really? Yeah, Sean, YouTube does take a cut, but at the same time, some people prefer it that way because it's like public and fun. So I know some people prefer to donate with Lightning or PayPal. Some people prefer YouTube. I'm cool with it either way. However, any donation is greatly appreciated to me. But there's different ways you can donate. Sean recommends the Lightning way. Kay Kenike was watching from Hawaii. Alexandria, thanks for watching. John A. and PD. So, by the way, I didn't realize this. Arizona Jumper said when you click on a super sticker, you get Popo. It says the name is Popo. I never knew this. Really? Where does it say that? Oh, hold on. I found it. I think I found it. It says Popo. TechCrunch. This when YouTube came out with stickers. It says these include packs like Hi Popo. No, it's Hi Popo. Hi Popo. The name is Hi Popo. It's not Popo. It's Hi Popo. A hippopotamus. Baby Lemon. Energetic Lemon. Bushiba Biggest Fans and others. Huh. So, the name is Hi Popo. That's Bushiba. That's Biggest Fans. I guess Biggest Fans is a bunch of them. And then there's Energetic Lemon and Baby Lemon. Energetic Lemon and Baby Lemon. Yeah, those are the lemon heads. Energetic Lemon and Baby Lemon. How about that? Now we know. Now we know. No, hi. It says Hi Popo. It says the name here is Hi Popo. That is the name they've given it, according to that article. Apocalypse No was watching. Thank you. Happy Quails. Hi Popo. Rascally Rabbit was watching. Thank you. John A. and PD. Thanks for watching. All right. We're going to do this. We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you guys so much. This was an interesting stream. Fun stream. Got to talk about all kinds of stuff. I got to learn a lot. And talk to people in the Netherlands. Okay, guys. That is it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Alexandria says almost daylight here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. She's in the Netherlands. Have a great rest of your weekend, unless it's already like you're in the Netherlands or something and it's already Monday. So I really appreciate you joining the stream. Kujali, thanks for watching too. I really appreciate you joining the stream. Sean says he hears breaking news. Yes. Maybe I'll look up the Orlando Fire open calls list to see where that is. But thank you so much for joining. Thanks again to our mods, Sarah Joy, Lizzie, AJ. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks to the chatters. Thanks to the lurkers. Thanks to everybody who donated. And we'll do it again soon. All right? And who knows, maybe poopy test results this week. Okay, that is it for now. Thank you guys for joining me on the Sunday night live stream, and we will see you very, very soon.